Hello. Happy days. Look what we're talking about today. Did you see in the comments? If you don't know me, I'm Pip. I help run this group with my cohort. I'm going to bring him right on. Greg.
Hey everyone.
I'm working on my camera angles. So, Greg, I'm going to get you to introduce yourself, but I'm going to do it now. Hey, Greg, tell us
Yeah.
about you.
Hey everyone. My name is Greg. If nobody knew that, um, I'm in Vancouver and I run a website graphic design and digital marketing firm over here for Lower Mainland people, mostly local. Although I do have been known to help people out in the States, and even was assisting one of our watchers today, Lucinda.
Ooh, I didn't know about that. I want to know more. Can I know more?
She was just having some issues with her provider, so I was trying to lend as much of a hand as I could to get her away from there, and she successfully moved. So that was awesome.
Always helping, Greg. I love it. So, Greg, do you know what we're talking about today?
We are talking about Google algorithms,
We are. What's the
uh,
title?
which nobody knows about.
That's
Even
not
we
true.
don't really know about Google algorithms.
Well, no. Hold on. You know how recently people came out saying like, I think Backlinko did 200 ranking factors, blah da 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 da, right? Well, do you know why that happened and why he came up with that material?
No.
I fell across it a couple weeks ago, and it got leaked. It was so although Google is mostly machine learning, um, there are measures that they have people that will go and grade sites, right? And those people have to follow guidelines, and so the guidelines got leaked, and
Mm.
so these are all the factors in the guidelines that people have ripped apart, which is it's there's never been a time where we've known more about what Google does and how Google does it.
So you have this document, and you're going to leak it on the into the group?
I actually have it on my website somewhere. It is long, so it's like one of those ones you save. But yes, I will go find it again. Gives me heart palpitations because that means figuring out where the heck I put it. Yeah, heck. I wanted to say hell. Where the hell I put it? Yeah.
Man, if it's the secret sauce to SEO, I'm surprised you don't know where you have it.
Oh, well, I mean, you know what? It feeds along the lines of things we already know that are the smart choices to make when building your content and when building an SEO strategy. Hey, that leads us really right into our talk. I'm pretty excited about that.
Let's
So,
go.
okay, let's do this. If you're joining us, chime in, say hi. Where are you listening from? Do you want to learn anything about SEO? Oh, and Greg,
Hmm.
when I say that, there were two questions. One question in the group on the question post. Uh,
Hmm.
can you find that? Well, I uh, say this wicked phrase, which is today we're going to talk about the 5 best things you can do to rank higher in the search results. The 5 best and maybe easiest, although everybody's at different levels of things, right? But if you can't do it yourself, you can always pay somebody to do it. So, number 1, and these are in no special order. That being said, number 1 I think is page load time, right?
Right.
I think that I set you on a task, Greg, and I'm not sure you're multitasking.
I only see one question that was posted on it.
Okay, hey, Lucinda's here. Hey, Lucinda. Hi. Okay, so the first one on my list of best things to do for your site is speed, page speed, and testing your page speed. Oh, and Kelly, hi Kelly. Um, Testing page speed because not because necessarily that, and you will get downgraded for speed, but we all know that when we're on our devices, if you have to wait to get to a website at all, you're out of there, right? So
I
as for
mean,
your
people will wait a couple of seconds, maybe 3, even up to 4 seconds on a mobile.
not
But if it's any longer than that, people tend to just try a different site. So,
milliseconds can help. Like,
well, every millisecond can help. There's so many components to a website. that yes, milliseconds help on every little file. See, when a site loads, I'm not sure how many people are aware of what actually happens behind the scenes of when a site loads. Everything that you see needs to be loaded. And every file, so the CSS file, JavaScript files, the HTML file itself, every image file, all of it gets loaded individually. So each one will take a certain amount of time. So that's why it's so important to optimize your images, because every one is trying to be loaded. So
Right.
you cut down the size of every one, and then you're cutting the speed to load your site so that quickly.
And okay, so Kelly's saying less graphics. I would actually disagree, Kelly, because graphics help people stay in connection with your content, right? Um, but yeah, so if you don't know, you can test your load page load time on Search Console, or just type into Google website time test. And we have to say hi to Amy and Janice. Kelly, thank you for chiming in. I'm going to try to get your comments on screen. Always grappling with the technology. So, Greg, anything else about load speed time? That's one of our top five. I
Well,
think.
I wanted to mention Kelly made a point about web page problems for speed could be modem speed, poor connection, or about bad browser. Those are not things that we can control. We can only control how well we optimize the site. Yeah, if those are inconsistent things that wouldn't affect everybody, that would only affect people that have old modems or a shitty internet connection. We can't control that. Those people know they have bad modems or bad internet connections and will most likely wait because they know that.
Right? I agree. There are things. So everybody's phone is different, but as you say, do what you can control, right? So Haley's here. Haley's here. Hey, Haley. I was just on a live with her a little while ago. Shout out to that. Okay, yeah, Greg, I love what you're throwing down, and Kelly, I dig what you're putting out there because that's really helpful. I my number two is dwell time. Now, I think dwell time is really important because dwell time is about, you know, it kind of creates a lower bounce rate. Two signals that we know Google values, right? So time on site and lower bounce rate. Um, so the best things you can do is work to get people to stay longer on your site.
Can you explain dwell time to people?
Dwell time is the longer time you spend on a site, right? So in your analytics, when a visitor comes to your site, it's the length of the time the visitor stays on your site is tracked. And the longer the time that's spent, the more Google knows that you're, as a consumer, finding the information you need, right? So it's like a little uptick. You're like, yeah. So that's why we always in marketing on the SEO side focus on building that into a strategy, right? Yeah, dwell time's a good thing. Same as bounce rate, right? Right, which is when somebody goes to a website and then they leave right away because we don't have to care. We just need to find what we're looking for, right?
And so that's your number two.
Not in any
And
specific.
is that something that weighs heavily in the rankings?
I say there are, every person in this field is going to focus on what they think is important. I think that's really important. For me, I know when I'm making a purchasing decision. I mean, you got to think about why are people going to your site? So where are they in their journey? Now, if I'm going to make a purchase and I'm, say I'm buying a TV and I go to somebody's site and I'm on model 6732, I'm reading the things to see if I'm going to get what I want. So I'm spending more time. So yeah, it is. I truly believe it is an important signal. Yeah. What do you think?
I've actually never heard to time on site referred to as dwell time.
Mm. I know. Well, I don't know where I heard about it before, but
Almost 20 years doing this, and this is the first I've heard it referred to dwell time.
again, you know what? I like the way it sounds.
All right. Did you just make this up?
No, no, I read lots, man, and I wish I made it up. Ah, that'd be great. Okay, okay. Number three, be strategic and start optimizing each page for a specific keyword phrase, specific keyword phrase.
Yeah, that's important. I don't know if everybody knows it. I come across this all the time when I'm talking with customers. They don't realize that they can only, or to get the best results, they would optimize a single page for one key phrase.
Right. Well, you can use things like answer the public and find other key phrases that'll work in that. But, start with one and then all of what you're answering, right? Answer the question.
Yeah, and you can come up with variations for the other pages, but you have to focus on one single term or phrase per page
Yeah.
for best results.
Right. Which you could, easily do if you're on WordPress and using Yoast. It's so helpful, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a big one. And I see people content training and not training this part. And I just always stabs me in the heart a little. I'm like, oh, just missing a point. But that is what it is. And we all learn. And there's different strategies, right? So that's my number three. My number four is start blogging. Freshness of content is a key factor, right?
It's always been super important. Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know about you. How do you search? So when you're searching online, say on YouTube, do you change the parameters of the time? Like either videos can be 4 minutes, 20 minutes, or they can be whatever, last year, last week, all time, right? Last month. Do you ever click on those?
No, not a lot.
Oh, see, I do all the time because for me, like in AdWords, I don't want something that's 2 years ago because so much has changed.
Yeah.
Social media marketing, same, right? But I mean, there's some evergreen things that you go to, but
I would do that on like YouTube because I want the freshest videos. But as far as Google search results, I think they're pretty good at displaying whatever the top searches should be, what and dropping content that is like a couple of years old.
But check this out. So for
Fresher.
the group, every Tuesday, I go and find what's going on, and kind of report on it or talk about something in search. And I actually change the parameters of my search when I search to like current news because it's the most up to date. And that content's super fresh, right? And yeah, I'm always looking for the newest content. I mean, I understand that generally the results, especially on search, are, the best results for what you're looking for, and you don't need to do that. But I can't be the only one. Hey guys, if you search this way, drop it in the comments. Say yes, I do, or no, I don't. I totally want to know because Greg and I are a little different on this one, but we both agree freshness of content is huge, right? I learned about this strategy where, okay, you have your blog and you have your pages, but you continually make new pages on your site because pages might be weighted more than blog posts, which is interesting and I haven't really dug into, but what a neat concept if that were true.
Yeah, I've not heard about anything along those lines, but
Soon we will know. One day. Okay, so freshness of content, that is number 4. Oh, Greg, we're gonna have to talk about other things here.
I still got I got other things that I.
Yeah. Are we doing 2 lists? I like it.
No, I don't have a list, but I've got just general discussion of SEO.
Right. Okay, so my number 5, my number 5, not in any specific order, people, is links, internal, external, and like internal and external, linking. For example, Wiki. That is one of the highest organic ranking sites of all time. And if you look at them as an example, they have like every paragraph, every sentence has a link in it or paragraph, right, to give you more information. So, and I was listening to this SEO podcast, and I really do see a lot of value in sharing more links out,
Hmm.
right, and doing internal linking and building links, and so links in general. Links can be a whole topic.
I've never been a huge fan of linking away
Mm.
from the site. I know there are obviously signals that weigh and change your score for that, but I've always been the advocate to all my clients of, once we have them on our site, minimal outlinking unless it's from a certain page where you're listing vendors or, clients that you've worked with, but in and throughout your
But why?
content services, because we have their attention
Mm.
when they've come to your website.
Yeah.
You want to use that to your advantage and be able to show them everything that you have to offer and try to convert that visitor into some type of customer. If you're linking them away from your site, you're leading them on a trail somewhere else only to maybe forget about you. And I come across this every day while I'm working.
Yes.
I'll be going to do something and I'll see something else that distracts me and I go to that, and then it's an endless loop of like, half hour later I'm like, what the hell did I, hop online for?
Right? Interesting, interesting. So here's a couple things in that. Like that's such a good thing to unpack. I agree with you because yeah, there is that distraction. I mean, I see it on apps all the time. If I'm playing a game and I get a distraction app and it leads me to another game, I've left the game, right? I've left one, gone to the other, and they've left me maybe for a lifetime. So there's that. That's helping the user, and so there's that component between SEO where it's the bot user, right? Which one are you doing it for? Now, I like external links because they're supporting, and your external, like linking out, can be supporting documentation, and linking also to your other pages leads to longer dwell time, right? And
Yeah.
so is essentially helpful because it gives you credibility and it helps you rank out. However, that being said, I do really agree with you on a lot of sites. Like if maybe I'm a contractor, um, I don't want to necessarily link to what marble's made of, right? Out because I'd rather keep them maybe in my site longer, and that would be my main to get them to the filling out a form. Ooh.
It needs to be completely relevant to whatever it is you're talking about on that page, and absolutely popped up in a new window.
Right. Mona's here, Zach's here. Hey guys, yay, chime in if you heard that question about how do you search. Do you change the parameters in your search? So,
I just came across talking to a customer yesterday because they were doing incognito searches on some of their products and things like that, and they were like, what do people like in Alberta see? Can I change that? And there used to be a way in Google where you could specify, show me results based on this location. And they removed that a long time ago. And I'm not aware if you can do anything like that maybe in Search Console. Do you know if Search Console has anything where you can tell what
I
your organic listing would be like from a different location?
organic, eh? You could look at that through the keyword planner in the it's mainly to show you your ads, but you could see.
Well, he wants to know where he ranks organically. So because what he does is he'll like search in in his shop with incognito browser, but he's here in Burnaby. He'll search for his product, right? So he's
But
getting results.
using the word Alberta.
He has, and he's been, but that doesn't necessarily show you
Yeah.
the proper search. That's searching for that thing in Alberta.
I don't think he specifically can. If he used maybe Data Studio, right? You could pull, but you couldn't see the exact searches. I don't think. Uh, you'd have, I mean, maybe that's a feature that will be added down the road. I don't know. Oh my gosh, look at that answer. Ha!
It was awesome. I used it all the time.
What, the
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
when
answer?
they took it out. It hasn't been there for a really long time, but I distinctly remember the ability when you search for something, when you get like there's more tools and advanced options,
Yeah.
used to be the option in there to be able to specify showing you results for a certain city.
Mm. Yeah, it's interesting. They've even changed in Google My Business. Oh, which is the question actually um, that we got this week. But in Google My Business, they've changed the parameters. So it used to be that you could do 20-mile radius. Now you have to do by city. You have to add all your cities that you serve. So
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty interesting.
yeah.
So the question, did you see the question in the group was
It
how
was about validating your Google listing without a Google specialist.
yeah. So all you have to do is I have a PDF I will share in that post as a link, I guess, is that or but basically you just fill out the information and just don't call them and get a postcard mailed to you. Right? So go to Google My Business, go to start or something here now, click on the blue button and just fill out the information, not too much because it won't get filled out properly until you're verified, but and then get a postcard sent to you.
And the other thing too is if when you do that process, you have to search for your business name first to make sure there's not already
One.
something in the system for you. At that in that process, you would then claim the listing that was found for you. If there's nothing, then you can start the process to create one.
That fast verify option, so the verify option where you can call or do an email thing, that's optional. It used to be that you could only get it through the mail. And
Hmm.
and honestly, it's the best way. You wait 2 weeks. If you don't get a postcard, do it again. And it sometimes takes time and it's glitchy.
I hate waiting. I always look for the option to call. And when I was never presented it, I was like, can I just call, please? Or can
What?
I just like do it
I
and
I get that.
tell the business owner you're gonna receive a call in a couple minutes, give me the code. Because waiting the 2 weeks is so annoying.
But for some businesses, they really have a hard time getting a Google because there's been nefarious behavior, as always, with businesses who shouldn't be up there because they're not a business.
Yeah.
Um, there's been so they deny people like we. I had a friend who got denied because one of the things they told them was that you don't have a decal on your car. A decal on your car. I mean, really. So this is why we avoid calling them. We know that although the people at Google can be really helpful, sometimes they lead us the wrong way. So, right? Often, actually. So, okay, we got that out of the way, Greg. We're 6 minutes to go. You better have. I came up with my list of five. You said list of five best things to do. What are your
Well,
best?
I didn't know you were gonna blow through so fast.
I know
Anybody got questions?
I'm on point today.
I wanted to make mention again of the amount of content you put on a page being at least 300 words or more. I was just talking to a client yesterday, and I actually like Yoast, the green, orange, red lights
I
because
love
it's like
that.
it's like a game, and a couple of my clients really like it, but they get frustrated when they can't, knock it all off the list. And I was talking to one yesterday, and he had like, I don't know, 180 words on his page, and
100
it said,
that like hi, my name is.
well, it's a product, so
Mm.
I mean, yeah, he didn't have a ton to say about the product. It was pretty basic. But he's like, I don't have anything else to say, but I want that green light. And I can't get 300 words on this. But yeah, I mean, it's important to have as much content. Try to get to that minimum 300 content. Three to 500 would be a really great range for everybody to get through.
Minimum.
Minimum.
Yeah, minimum. I would say minimum.
Because then you can get your keyword, key phrase on there like a certain amount of times within that amount of text, and your results you'll notice a big improvement in your results, or you should.
And the other thing is, like, I mean, you could actually sit down and ask yourself, what questions are people asking about this product? Answer those questions. Go find those questions. And even if they've been answered, answer them on your site and give some insight. Lewis is here. Hello, Lewis. I like what Kelly's saying. 12 days to wait for your postcard. Okay, 12 days. I mean, I almost want to break into song and sing "It's the End of the World as We Know It." Right. Sorry, that was Greg. Greg, patience. We all need a little of it, right? I know. I hate waiting too.
And the other thing I wanted to make mention of that's more clear to me recently is the actual readability of your content.
Oh,
Um, is super important. They're putting
emphasis.
way more emphasis on how you're talking about your products and services on the site, and not being robotic just to get your key phrases on there and stuff like that. So keep that in mind when you're writing.
I am guilty of putting my keyword phrase or like list, just a list, whatever I'm gonna talk about with a pipe, and then the keyword phrase. Okay, have just to fit it in there to get that green light. It's true. It's true. I've
Yeah.
done it. I'll do it again, but it's probably not my best option. Right. I agree. I would say that. So I actually fell across, the Hemingway app really helps with readability.
Hmm.
One of the things I struggle with on my site is that I need to make it at a, they say you should be writing at a grade 5 level on your website. That's how websites convert. So I need to update that. And there's this Hemingway app, or Hemingway, you can just go to the website and it really does. It helps grade your content or help you. However, if you use that and Yoast, it's sometimes there's a bit of a clash. And I just found this readability website where you can plug your stuff. I haven't used it, but I'm really excited about using it. So there's a lot of tools, right, to improve your writing. I think that's one of my things for next year. I'm gonna dial that up.
Too many tools. Maybe we should do a writing talk with Ashley. Maybe she's got suggestions on tools to use to get your product write ups and service write ups better optimized
Yeah,
for people.
optimized for SEO, which
Yeah.
is smart. There's other things, yes, I agree. So that'll probably be in December.
Hmm.
Or I don't know. No, we'll have to check it out. Hey guys, if you want to talk about that, pipe in the comments. I see you're here. Tell us, do you want a talk on great tips for writing content that converts? I would kind of like that. So,
I know we talked about this when we talked about images a couple Geek Speaks ago, but I feel it's something that is so easy to do,
image.
but I feel people don't, they just don't do it. Is naming your images also with the keywords or key phrases that
Ah,
you're wanting to. But people, I don't know why they'll update, or they'll scale down the image or maybe optimize it. But a lot of the times when they save the image, they just save it as whatever it came off the camera as, or like for website,
interesting.
or something like that, but not relevant keywords of whatever page it's going to go on, or what the image is. And it's so simple. It's so easy to name an image before you upload it, and use your alt tags.
It's people need to. This is something I'm learning right now, which is really interesting. But naming conventions, just even in your everyday life, kind of how like you do the date. If you do the year first and the month and the day or whatever you do, if you optimize, like most people have websites now, so optimize how you want your naming convention to be and try to always do it so you put the keyword in the front, and then that very end is kind of what the image looks like. That could.
I'm a former programmer, so I never use spaces in file names,
Hmm.
and I do not capitalize anything in anything I save, and
Interesting.
I use dashes
Hmm.
and not underscores.
Right? I use capitals on every word. Uh,
Really?
yeah, I think I do, or try to. I mean, I'm all working it out. It's been changing, so I might say that we need naming conventions. Remember, I am learning, um, because I was all over the place too, and it's just easier versus resaving. Greg, we're out of time. Mona's saying would love more writing tips. I struggle with this. Oh, that's good. Kelly's using GoDaddy, or I don't know. I'm gonna read that after Kelly. We gotta go. We're out of time. If you like this chat, please send some love, some hearts. Actually, the wow face. I'm kind of digging that. And that'd be really fun. If you got questions that we didn't answer, post them. And what else? We'll see you next week. Greg, what's the talk next week?
Oh God, I was just gonna say that we'll answer Kelly's last question offline there. You know what?
The question. I'm going to look at what's for next week.
Oh, I'm there. Analytics versus Data Studio.
Ooh. Oh, that's going to be so. Look at me. I'll a flutter for the analytics.
You love both of them. You're such a geek.
Right? It's amazing I'm in this group. It's amazing. What is what
Oh, he's asking about GoDaddy or Wix or other site builder programs. Which would we recommend for
Oh,
Google support and rankings, or is Squarespace more recommendable?
right.
Um,
Greg and I
I,
have a preference. We're probably not the best people to ask. Greg,
well,
count of three. On the count of three.
I would
One,
say just
two,
stay away from
three.
Google and Wix.
WordPress. WordPress.
No, I'm not gonna force WordPress on everybody. People need to use, and there's tools that all of these sites can use.
True.
I'm not a fan of a GoDaddy page builder.
Mm,
I would say they would have the least friendly SEO built into them.
okay.
Uh, Wix and Squarespace might be, good. I would say WordPress gives you the most flexibility
I
to
will say this.
your.
So Wix used to. There's an old story about Wix and Google not digging Google, not digging Wix. So, and then I have lots of people use Square, and I know people that use Duda, and then there's Joomla, and then there's
Joomla.
yeah. I want Joomla is dead. But so here's the thing I think that we all need to consider. It's kind of like buying a car, the cheap car that has parts you can easily get, or the foreign car that it's really expensive to get the parts. I think that's how you have to look at it. So if you have a custom made site, you might have to get help doing every little change. If you have a WordPress site, you know that 60% of websites are based on that, so you're going to get better help more easily at a range of costs. Same with Square and possibly Wix. That's how I would look at it. Um, and I'd find the person that I want to work with, or that can guide me well online. And I would go. Maybe that's how I would pick, right? I don't know. Pretty good, eh, Greg? I think I'm being really strategic today,
Yes.
right? That's awesome. Anyway, what do you think? What, Greg? I know you were much nicer about it. Where I'm like, it's only WordPress. You were more reasonable. It's true. Right?
Well, I was trying to give a little bit more context on why go with one over another.
Well, and that's why I appreciate you.
I feel that the decision is more a business case, like what do you need for your business? Choose the right platform that works for your business. And that might not be WordPress.
Right?
It might be a Wix or a Squarespace site. It really depends on what your business is, where you're going with your business, and choosing the right platform to start off with,
Mm.
and not build a Wix or Squarespace site and then 6 months to a year down the road go, okay, well now I need this, so let's move and have to build stuff all over again.
Yeah.
Choosing, making the right decisions at the start, I'm a huge fan of.
Easier said than done, though, right? Because then you can get stopped by too many options and not understanding which way to go. Sometimes you just need to jump in. This is where Greg and I are actually quite different.
Yeah, I'm a planner.
No, I'm a planner. I'm just a planner about different things. I need to jump in headlong when I'm fearful, and thank goodness I do that. But the other thing is, you can change your mind, have a site for 2 years, don't like the platform, leave, move somewhere else. You're going to be, I mean, maybe not the best recommendation over a 10-year period, doing that every 2 years, but you'll find where it fits for you, I think. Right? Anyway, Greg, next week, analytics, search console, no, data studio. It'll be really fun. Don't forget, guys, hearts, love, happy smiley faces. We want them, and your comments and questions. Of course, it's a really fun day. I hope you have a wonderful, amazing day. And thank you so much for spending your time with us. Hey, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get captured.
Make good choices.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.